An Arizona father was found dead in his home on November 5th, 2025. It's a suspected suicide, and this comes after he was previously convicted in the death of his own 2-year-old daughter after he left her in a hot car last summer. It's horrible. I'm Lauren Conlin. This is Los Angeles Magazine's daily pop culture, scandals, and crime news. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and here we go. I'm going to break everything down for you right here. This is an incredibly tragic story, and I'm trying very hard not to call this guy a coward before we have all of the answers and all of the information. But the father, he was a 38-year-old man, Christopher Ryan Scholtes of Arizona, and he was found dead. He lived in the Phoenix area in the morning of November 5th, 2025. And as I mentioned, police are investigating his death as a suicide. They have said no foul play is involved that they can see. But the backstory here is that his 2-year-old daughter, Parker, last summer was found unresponsive in a car outside his home after her body, and medical examiners, they concluded this in their autopsy. Her body was 109 degrees. I mean, that's what her body temperature reached. And it was actually a similar temperature, something like 108 degrees outside when she was left in this hot car. And this dad, later admitted, or I guess investigators figured out during their investigation, that he was inside playing video games, watching pornography in the air conditioning while she was out there for over 3 hours. I mean, if that is not one of the most despicable stories that you've ever heard, I don't know what is, truly. So he had recently pleaded guilty in October 2025 to to second-degree murder and child abuse in connection with Parker's death. And he pled guilty and got this deal that was going to give him 20 to 30 years in prison. So he, had a shot of having a life at the age of, 68 or 70, whatever. You know what? Actually, what am I saying? Yeah, that's about right. I'm like, can I do math? So yeah, he had a shot of having a life. And what's crazy is that November 5th, yesterday, that was the very day that he was required to surrender to law enforcement ahead of his sentencing. So instead of appearing in court, his body was discovered in his home. Officials state that, yeah, the father, he just didn't show up. And obviously, they went to go look into where he was, and they discovered him dead. Again, I'm not here to pass judgment. It is looking like a suicide. However, the medical examiner hasn't ruled anything yet, so we don't know. Yeah, cowardly. But I'm going to play a news clip for you guys, a local news clip in Arizona that I found helpful. You know what I'll do? I'll usually speak a little bit just for copyright purposes. And look at this. I am so prepared today. All right.
A Marana father who pleaded guilty and the hot car death of his young daughter turns up dead. Thank you for joining us. I'm Valerie Cavazos. It's a shocking development in a case that has already been filled with emotion. Christopher Scholtes was found dead early this morning. Our Mary Coleman development. Mary, is there any foul play suspected in this?
Well, at this time, no. Police are treating this case as a suicide, but we may not know more about what exactly happened until a medical examiner's report is done. Last month, Scholtes pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and child abuse in the death of his 2-year-old daughter, Parker. He was supposed to turn himself into authorities today during a status hearing in this case. Instead, he was found dead at a home in Phoenix. Our Phoenix affiliate saw crime scene investigators at his home this morning. We learned through a search that Scholtes moved there earlier this year. He was facing a sentence of no more than 30 years in prison under a plea deal, and he was set to be sentenced on November 21st. This case all began last year. Police say he left Parker in a hot car for hours in the driveway of his Marana home. Authorities said Scholtes lied about how long his daughter was in the vehicle. They also say he got distracted while playing video games. We just received a video statement from Pima County attorney Laura Conover. She had a personal message for the little girl's older sisters.
Oh.
May you be surrounded by love. May you receive all of the support you deserve and need, and then some. May you know and believe that you can survive and thrive.
We are working to find out what happens next in this criminal case, and we are working to get the medical examiner's report from Maricopa County. The county says it could be up to 90 days before it's ready. Belle.
Sounds right. All right, let me stop sharing that. Yeah, I mean, this at this point, I cannot get over the fact that we are still dealing with parents who forget that their children are in the car. I mean, this is it's unacceptable. It's despicable to me, and I think that if you go through some of the legal filings of this case, which I did, and you just heard he has other children, but he had a history of forgetting his children in unattended vehicles. How is that a thing? I mean, it's like it's a pattern of neglect, and again, it's completely unacceptable. So rather than facing the sentencing, and facing the music here, it sounds like this father decided to take his own life, even though he had other children. I'm sure that these other children are greatly affected either way. But also, this is also a mental health issue as well. I mean, this is almost how, the element of guilt and trauma and prosecution, they all collide at once. And yes, it takes an emotional toll, which again, I'm not here to judge. I am, it's not my job to judge as a person. I am here to just report everything. But yeah, I think that is why I have refrained, I guess, from name calling or sort of stating my opinion, even though you guys kind of know what it is, because I understand a lot goes into this. And sure, I'm sure this father has a lot of guilt. So final autopsy results will clarify if there were other contributing factors in his death. Parker's mother and her siblings haven't responded. I thought that the DA's statement was pretty amazing. And this story traveled far and wide just because it was so heartbreaking. And I can't imagine being this little girl's mother. That is your husband, that is your child's father. Mothers, we should be able to feel comfortable leaving our kids, with our husbands and not worry about something like this. Because I don't have to tell everybody this, but hot car deaths of infants, yeah, they can be prevented. And I think, a lot of parents, and I live in the city, so I don't drive a car every day. A lot of parents, and I've done this when I've been at my parents' house in New Hampshire, but you're with your kids, you're driving, they fall asleep in the car, and you want to let them sleep. So sometimes you get out of the car and you leave them in it, but leave the door open or put the air conditioning on. I mean, it's beyond me. So, yeah, this story, heartbreaking. A little girl lost her life. I guess the father accepted responsibility, but never carried out his sentence in the court of law. But yeah, his death does leave some unanswered questions for the family and everyone connected. So, yeah, just wanted to bring this story to your attention. So thank you everyone for being here. Again, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and hold your kids close.